Hey everyone, I'm here tonight doing a gremolata potato salad. My husband was nice enough while I put together a table on the porch to dice, well, I guess this is more like bite-sized pieces, 4 potatoes, and he boiled them and drained them, and they're just spread out on a sheet pan right now to cool off. They don't have to get cold. We just don't want them piping hot still. So I'm going to set these to the side to keep cooling. And for our dressing, we're going to be doing a parsley, garlic, and caper dressing. This salad's great for barbecues because it doesn't have mayonnaise, so you don't have to worry about it sitting out in the sun. It's great at room temperature. It's great cold. It's just an all-around delicious side dish. I'm also super happy because even though this is the last packet of garlic in this bag, when I went shopping this week, Wegmans had my peeled garlic. Woohoo! So I was quite happy. I'm gonna do, maybe like 3 large cloves microplaned for the dressing. And then I'll taste it. I can always, do a little more. Can you really have too much garlic? I don't think it's possible. So this is the microplane that I'm always talking about. I'm holding the garlic at the little root end, and then I just grate it on here. You do have to be careful. You could, zip off the end of your finger if you press really hard. So just when it gets down to like that little nubbin, and then into my little pumpkin trash can that I've shown you guys before. I'm also going to do my lemon zest on this grater. I was talking on a Zoom conference with some friends. We were discussing knives and knife carrying cases. And you think like, oh, really? You need a knife carrying case? Where are you taking your knives? But besides fitting your knives, it also fits in a couple tools. And this thing, I would take this on vacation if there was a kitchen where I was going. It is just so handy. So before I zest my lemons, I am going to roll them. This is going to break up some of the cells inside and release that juice, just making it a lot easier when I use my juicer. So these look pretty good. So again, when I zest, I'm just trying to take off that colorful outer layer. I'm just doing a quick, just one pass, and as I'm stroking down, I'm also rolling the lemon so that I'm going from the top to the bottom. And I'm just trying to get off the colored part. The white stuff underneath is bitter and yucky, and you don't want that. Just going around the top. That is not that much lemon zest, so I am going to do my other one. These are a little bit older lemons. We've had them, oof, yikes, probably 2, maybe even 3 weeks. They're pretty soft. So this is a good recipe to use them up. Even if I zest one and only need even if I zest both and only need the juice of one, I won't feel that bad because they're getting up there in age. All right, that's looking pretty good. I will do my juice as long as I'm hanging on to the lemons. Grab my knife. So my trick for when I juice lemons is I actually make 3 cuts. I cut off both ends, and then these are kind of small, but I usually cut it right in the middle. And now when I go to juice it, it just helps release the juice from the holes out the bottom and out the top. So I'm going to squeeze, drain the juice, flip it. These are kind of small. I wonder if I should use the littler well. Get every little bit out of there. Yeah, that is working better. So my sister Abby messaged me the last time I used the juicer because we've seen people on the cooking shows put the lemons in the opposite way and it flips them inside out. But if you think about a reamer, a citrus reamer, I have one in this drawer. The pointy end, which is just like the pointy end of this, right? goes into the middle of the fruit towards the ends. So that's why I use my juicer the way I do, because I just think of it as like a handheld reamer. So I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but I get a lot of juice out, so it's working for me. Oops, there's a seed there. So, you know, I'm just going to keep doing it that way because it's working for me. If you have a better way, put it in the comments and I'll check it out the next time I zest some juice. All right, we also need to get some parsley and capers in here. So let's do our parsley next. Oh, I have some tarragon in here. I'm going to make something this week with it. So let's see. Get some of these leaves off of here. And parsley is really tender, so even if I get some stems, not that big a deal. I can pick them out, really thick ones, but thin ones that the leaves are attached to, those are just gonna chop right up and be delicious in here. So like these, like that's a pretty thick stem, I'll pick those out. Or these very obvious, you know, bits that don't have any leaf attached to them, but the littler stems, I'm not too concerned about. They'll be delicious. If anything, they'll add some texture, right? All right, that looks pretty good. All right, let's get, now this we want to do like a really fine mince, like really, really, really small. So I just gather all the leaves up, you kind of just roll slash mush them into a pile, and then run your knife through them, gathering the leaves. Careful with your thumb. You don't want to slice that. Then change the direction of the leaves and go through a second, third, and fourth time. So every time I pile it, I try to change the directions of the leaves. Hey, babe. And you might end up with a couple large pieces still, but look at how quickly that's getting all minced up. So usually I'm like choked up on the knife when I mince my herbs. This is like the one time. So I have my hand down here to keep the tip pressed, and my hand is pretty far back on the handle to do the mincing motion. There we go. That looks perfect. Let's add all of this right into our mixture. Then we're going to do some capers. You could drain them. I have this awesome little crab fork that I stole from my mom when we had our catering business. So I just put them in. You could like chop them up too. I love capers, and so does my husband. So we like that big briny bite. If you don't have as many capers or you want to stretch them further, you know, use your knife, kind of mince them all up. If you don't like that big briny. I think that's pretty much all of them out of the bottle. That's pretty good. These are nonpareil capers. They do make larger ones. Every once in a while when I go to Wegmans, the nonpareils are out, and I buy the slightly bigger ones. They're fine. They taste the same. There we go. All right, we're going to do a big pinch of salt in here, even though the capers are salty, because potatoes are really bland. So we want a good amount of salt. Of course, some pepper. Everything needs pepper. Yum, yum, yum. And some olive oil. And for a typical dressing, you do your olive oil 2 or 3 to 1 to your acid. The potatoes are like little sponges, so I tend to go even a little bit heavier with the olive oil. Let's get a spatula out here. And I'm not worried about emulsifying this like I would a salad dressing, because once you toss the potatoes with it, it's just going to coat them and start to right into your potatoes. It'll be great. Let's give this a little taste. That is so good. The garlic has that bite to it, but you don't get any chunks because it's minced. And then you have the brininess from the capers and the bright acidity from the lemon juice. When I toss this with the potatoes, I might add a little more lemon juice. We'll see. All right. So our potatoes have been cooling. They're barely warm to the touch. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in now. And these are, like I said, bite size. They're cooked right through. Don't leave a little crunchy center because these aren't getting cooked again. If you were making like a cheese sauce and then going to bake them in a casserole, you could get away with that, but we want these cooked all the way through. And I'm going to gently fold them into the dressing because I don't want to make a mashed potato salad, but that could be really good. A loaded baked potato salad, and then you would have you'd mush your potatoes just a little bit. A little sour cream. Oh my gosh, that would be so good. Maybe I'll do that for my next potato recipe. All right, that is looking pretty nice. Again, do a quick little taste of a potato and see if it needs any more. I think we're spot on. Fantastic. All right, so there is our potato gremolata salad, perfect for picnics because it has no mayonnaise in it. You can serve it right now. You can let it sit for 15-20 minutes and let the dressing soak into the potatoes. You can also chill it. It's delicious cold and it holds up really well. I hope you guys give this a try, and that's my jam. See you later.